Not every company has a defined and refined interview process. As a job seeker, you have the ability to control your experience, and you can make sure you share the best possible version of yourself when you're being interviewed. In this video, we're talking about what you can do when your resume is being reviewed and discussed by an interviewer. My name is Brent. I own the Vancouver Express Employment Professionals office here in Vancouver, where we see ourselves as HR doctors. In our previous video, we discussed the 10 key steps that we feel you should consider in your job search. We further discussed determining what you want, researching and creating your resume, sending out applications, and now preparing for your interviews. Our first point for you to consider is for you to be open, honest, and speak the truth. In our previous videos, we've outlined how you can set your resume apart from your competition by investing in the content and layout. Hopefully you've done this, which will lead into your ability to control some of the narrative through the interview. Regardless, the first thing that you need to do to ensure your success is speak and tell your truth. Any embellishment or outright misrepresentations have the ability to derail the process. Adding fluff, whether to the resume or to the story or to some context that you share when you're questioned, will likely set you up for failure if you're questioned further and the underlying truth is uncovered. Take credit and responsibility for things that you can control that you had a direct impact in, and don't take credit for things that you didn't or only contributed to in a small way. An example of this will hopefully be one day the Canucks winning the Stanley Cup. Everybody in the organization will be able to say that they were a part of the championship winning team. The goal-scoring game winner, the coach, the GM, and the goalie will all be able to make similar claims to contributing to the success. However, a ticket sales agent or customer service rep will also be able to make a claim to being part of a championship-winning team, but they need to make sure that they aren't making the same claim or representation. Their story would need to surround the customer experience and making sure people got into the arena or had a great experience, as opposed to inferring that they had a hand in winning. Our next point for you to consider is to know your shortcomings and address them when possible. Sticking with being open and honest, it's important to not misrepresent your dates of employment, your roles or responsibilities, and any reason for leaving. If you were terminated from a previous position and a potential employer elects not to hire you as a result, then it is their choice whether you agree with it or not. A good employer will conduct reference checks, and misrepresentations that are uncovered will almost 100% result in you not being hired. Whether you lack a skill or have a blemish in your past, own it and be open and honest about it. Share what you've learned as a result and what you've done since then to show how you've changed the behavior. Once you're prepped for the above, the next point to consider is helping the employer understand how your efforts contributed to your previous employer and how they'll do the same for the new company. Review the company website, vision, and their mission. Study the job description and look for ways to directly tie in your specific measurable results and to how those same contributions can add value to the business that you're applying to. Understanding this when you're questioned about your previous positions, skills, or experience will give you an opportunity to tie those direct correlations into the business that you've applied to. To close things off, you'll likely have a chance to ask some questions of your own. This is a great opportunity to showcase what you've learned through your investigation of the company website, the job description, and the mission and vision if you've had exposure to it. First, ask yourself, of all these details, which are the most important to you and what do you need to know about to make an informed decision? You should look for some industry-specific terminology that you may need clarification on, which also showcases the fact that you've taken the time to review it. Don't ask questions for the sake of asking questions, and only do this with a specific intent to learn more about what's truly important to you and what you need to make an informed decision about your fit with the company. This and every interview needs to be just as much an interview for you as it is for them. Ask about training, onboarding, coaching, and performance management, and ask about their leadership style. If compensation hasn't been addressed yet, ask if it's something that will be discussed at a later stage or if it's something that makes sense to discuss now. You can also force this issue if you feel that there's a significant gap in your expectation that might need to be addressed early. Remember, you're in control of your decisions and you need to be equally interested in moving forward in the next steps of the process if they want to do the same. We're going to dig into the interview process further in some of our upcoming videos, but remember that every minute that you spend on your search, specifically on the areas that you can control, will always be time well spent. Thanks again for tuning in. If you'd like more info on Express, please visit our Facebook, our website, or our LinkedIn page, which are all linked below, and feel free to reach out with a call, email, or text and ask us any question about your next search for your next position.